Waiting for Bali leaders to care about waste. Okay, more on waste. And Bank Indonesia says Bali's economy will flatten in 2025. Not good news for the president, who wants to have the economy up to 8% this year. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is December 2nd, 2024. Yes, we are in December, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Well, it is cloudy, 30.3 degrees Celsius at 10:30 in the morning, and the humidity is 76%, and wind speed is 6.4 kilometers per hour. And it rained a lot yesterday. I wanted to go and watch my granddaughter's karate exhibition, but it was raining, and I'm still sick, and so I'm staying out of the rain. But I got to watch the video. It was very cool. And well, rainy season is here. Okay, I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say that it's not going to rain today, because it most likely will. But let's get into waste. Waiting for Bali leaders to care about waste. Wayan Koster, the new governor, said that Balinese people can learn from people in developed countries such as Japan who already have a high level of awareness in sorting waste at home. The Balinese people really hope for a leader who is able to untangle the chaos of the garbage problem on the island of the gods. Not only the general public, tourism actors who sell the beauty of Bali also certainly really want the garbage problem to be resolved immediately. The recently concluded election was expected to be momentum for the Balinese government and people to renew their spirit of managing waste. This hope arose after Wayan Koster was re-elected to another 5-year term as government, and he has expressed his commitment to resolving the waste problem in Bali. He said that the waste problem must be resolved thoroughly. The method of resolving the waste problem in Bali, in all Regency cities, especially Denpasar and Badung, will be strictly enforced. According to the governor, the Balinese government and community already have guidelines to solve the problem of piling up waste. There's already a Bali Governor Regulation number 47 of 2019 concerning source-based waste management, and Bali Governor Regulation number 97 of 2018, 6 years ago, concerning limitation of single-use plastic waste generation. So the waste in Bali must be finished, he said. Well, I was talking about that 6 years ago, and waste is worse than ever. During the campaign period, Pak Koster also conveyed several times the importance of waste management being completed immediately. These regulations go back 6 years. This is related to Bali's status as an international tourist destination. Governor Koster admitted that changing public awareness to wisely manage waste requires hard work. In his 5 years of leadership, the effort had been growing before, slowly but surely fading. However, Koster continues, the implementation of the gubernatorial regulation has been running in hotels, restaurants, and supermarkets that no longer use single-use plastic waste at this time. However, the same thing does not happen continuously in traditional markets. Previously using eco-friendly shopping bags, today's buyers and market traders are back to using disposable plastic bags, as you know if you've been to a traditional market. Now, traditional markets are still rampant, so the target for limiting the accumulation of single-use plastic waste will be in traditional community areas, traditional markets, and other traditional communities. Additionally, the governor reminded that overcoming the waste problem cannot be done downstream. Bali Governor Regulation number 47 of 2019 regulates source-based waste management. The hope is that the community will be aware of sorting waste according to the type before being taken to the TPS3R, Reduce, Reuse, Recycle Waste Processing Site, or TPST, Integrated Waste Processing Site. The governor said that Balinese people can learn from people in developed countries such as Japan, who already have a high awareness of sorting waste from home. Korea does the same thing, and China too. We still need education, wider socialization involving several parties so that the community changes its mindset. Saw people throwing trash in the ocean the other day. We are the ones who create waste. We are also the ones who must solve the waste. Don't be the ones who create waste. Others are told to solve it. The governor said in his second term as Bali's leader, he plans to immediately close the Suwung Denpasar TPA, which so far has received around 1,000 tons of waste from Denpasar and Badung every day. Koster said by sorting waste from the source, household waste processing should be able to be done at TPS 3R in each village sub-district or TPST for urban areas such as Denpasar and Badung. Therefore, the governor will emphasize the operation of TPST in Denpasar, which now has stopped working, so that it can process most of the waste in the Denpasar area. We will implement it, he said, with various schemes because in the second period there will be no more stories about garbage. It must be finished, like it or not. Can it or not? The director of the Bali Environmental Education Center, PPLH, supports the Bali regional government to be more assertive in implementing Bali Governor Regulation number 47. According to him, this is a basic thing that must be done in waste management. Even in developed countries that already use high-tech waste incineration, their citizens are still required to sort waste from their respective households. I also learned from friends in Germany and the Netherlands they also use incinerators, but they sort waste. Our society does not sort waste. Therefore, he said, the public needs to continue to be given socialization regarding the importance of sorting waste from the source to reduce the accumulation of waste in TPS3R or TPA. The Gianyar Regency government policy requires its people to implement source-based waste management and prohibits mixed waste from entering the Temesi Village TPA final disposal site as of May 1st, 2024. This is expected to be carried out soon by other district city governments in Bali. And so I guess we're going to wait and see what the governor is going to do about this. And during the heavy rains the other day, I think 2 days ago, lots of flooding here. Why? The sewers were all backed up with trash that people throw in the streets. Just throw that trash around, and then when things flood, people wonder why. Someday. Okay, and what about the economy? Bank Indonesia says Bali's economy will flatten in 2025. Sounds bad, but it's actually not too bad. After observing the achievements of economic growth in Bali in 2024, as well as looking at the challenges ahead, Bank Indonesia estimates that the economic output in Bali in the future will still be quite strong, just not as strong as this year. In 2025, Bali's economy is predicted to decline more than in 2024. This was conveyed by the deputy head of Bank Indonesia Representative Office for Bali Province. We estimate Bali's economic growth in 2024 to be 5.1 to 5.9%, and in 2025, 5% to 5.8%, so not a big drop. The economic growth will be supported by the recovery of agricultural production, he explained. In addition, also, he said there's 4 challenges facing the Balinese economy in the future. There's still inequality between the regions of Bali, especially the Serbagita and non-Serbagita areas, and the disparity between the two regions from a study showed that the index per region was recorded at 0.5 higher than the standard of 0.4 and has tended to increase after the pandemic. And the high dependence of Bali province on the tourism sector makes the economy vulnerable to external shocks, volcanoes, earthquakes. So it takes diversification of business fields so that the economy remains resilient. And of course, this has been talked about since the first Bali bombing, when we lost all of the tourists and things were a mess here. Academics and politicians said we have to spread the economy, we have to diversify. Here we are 20 years later and still talking about it and not doing it. Meanwhile, in terms of innovation, digitalization of payment systems, that's developing rapidly in Bali, but it has not been accompanied by digital literacy in the community. This is reflected in the Digital Literacy Index of Bali Province, which is 3.45 or below the national index of 3.54, based on a survey by the Ministry of Communication and Information. In addition, the integration of the food supply chain is not yet optimal due to high margins of food transportation and trade, which cause the inflation polarity in Bali to be quite high. So are we going to see diversification of the economy? Let's hope so. There's been the talk, and I've talked about this a number of times on this channel, of giving farmers some help, giving fishermen some help. And here is a story related to that. Seaweed farmers in Nusa Lembongan rise, supported by facilities and credit facilities. Seaweed cultivation in Nusa Lembongan, Klungkung, is back on the rise after being halted for several years. Support in the form of production facilities and easy access to People's Business Credit, KUR, are factors that encourage farmers to actively manage their land again. The head of the Kirthi Dharma Seaweed Cultivation Group, Ikadet Lulus, said that this assistance in the form of ropes and nets provided by BRI, that's the bank, through the Samarapura branch office was very helpful for the farmers. Sea cultivation has been a source of livelihood for generations for the people here. This assistance is very important to support our efforts. Cadet Lulus explained that seaweed cultivation is the main business for the people of Nusa Lembongan, especially after the tourism sector was hit by a COVID-19 pandemic. The price of seaweed has improved again and made farmers more optimistic. Under the Kirthi Dharma group of 25 members, each farmer manages 5 to 7 ara of land. With favorable weather, farmers can harvest seaweed every 35 days up to 5 times a year. Some of the harvest is sold for 13 to 15,000 per kilogram, while the rest is used as seeds for the next harvest. The income from seaweed is quite large. Even the results can meet the needs of the family and send our children to school, he said. The harvest is sold to collectors in Kusamba, Klungkung, Surabaya, and even exported abroad. In addition to assistance with production facilities, farmers also receive training to increase productivity and access to low-interest KUR. Cadet assessed that BRI KUR is very helpful for farmers in developing their business. We don't have much difficulty in paying installments, even during the pandemic. Sales of the harvest go directly into our savings. Regional CEO of the bank said that the assistance in the form of facilities, infrastructure, and training provided by the bank was a form of support for the agricultural sector, especially seaweed. With this assistance, he said, we hope that farmers will be more productive and creative so that their agricultural and economic output can increase. Seaweed cultivation in Nusa Lembongan is now one of the mainstays of the local economy, providing new hope for farmers to continue to develop amidst existing challenges. So some good news on parts of the economy not related to tourism. And if you've never seen the seaweed harvesting, take a look down at the East Coast sometime. You can go into villages and watch them do this, and it's quite fascinating. Okay, and one more final one, this time on coral reefs. Supporting the development of coral reef parks in Bali, Indonesia replants 250 coral reefs. Supporting the development of a 2.5 hectare coral reef park at Pandawa Beach, Indonesia replanted 250 coral reefs at the beach this past Saturday. Rabi Walid, Director of Risk Management, Compliance HR, and Corporate Secretary of Indonesia, said that this activity is expected to improve the marine ecosystem, attract tourists, and provide economic benefits for the local community. This step shows that Indonesia Re is not only profit-oriented, but also has a responsibility towards the environment and society. As part of its sustainability strategy, Indonesia Re is committed to the 7 core subjects of ISO 26000 and supports the sustainable development goals, including the use of renewable energy. The company's long-term target is to achieve net zero emissions by 2060 by gradually replacing unsustainable processes with environmentally friendly technology and resources. This event also celebrates Indonesia Re's 39th anniversary with the theme Transforming Today, Leading the Future. With the spirit of togetherness and transformation, Indonesia Re is optimistic that it can continue to innovate and make real contributions to the development of the reinsurance industry in Indonesia while supporting national economic growth. Meanwhile, President Director of Indonesia Re expressed his appreciation to all employees for their significant contribution to the company's growth. The celebration is not only a celebration, but a moment of reflection on our 39-year journey. The planting of the coral reefs is a symbol of Indonesia Re's commitment to environmental conservation and climate change mitigation. That's it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care and enjoy the month of December. See you next time.